Hi there, this is Linda from Let's Talk Prepping, and what I'm trying to do today is to get you to prioritize your prep. Know what you need and go out and get it, but put it in order. Don't go out and get something that you really don't need. Make sure you have enough food on hand because that's very important. Water if you think the grid is going to go down, and anything else that's coming from China. You're going to need to get it now. You're going to need to get anything you can from that's made in China because with the lockdowns over there, we're not getting anything shipped over here now. So let's just go through a few headlines from newstarget.com. Governments on road to collapse as global supply chain crisis. Inflation worsens. Sri Lanka now suspending foreign debt payments. So we have to worry about the governments of all of these countries collapsing because they can't pay their debts. And Sri Lanka is one of the first ones. News Target again. And again, that's today's date, April 25th, 2022. Signs of hyperinflation beginning to emerge as quotes from some material suppliers now only good for 24 hours. So you get a quote because you're building a house or something, and it's only good for 24 hours. You're doing repairs. Material suppliers are issuing quotes which expire after 24 hours as inflation fears grip the industry amid global challenges. They say there's a growing uncertainty about the availability of products, and that is affecting pricing now and in the future. The uncertainty also means that contractors are delaying starting new projects because they're likely to have to spend far more than budgeted while also having to wait additional weeks and even months for materials. So please, if there's anything you need and you think you're going to need it within the next year or two, maybe now is the time to stock up. A news target again. Top U.S. fertilizer socked with rail delays to Midwest as planting season approaches. Black Swan event? Question mark. And again, that's today's date. And I went over here, and just out of curiosity, I looked up Black Swan. And a Black Swan event. What is Black Swan? A Black Swan is an unpredictable event that is beyond what is normally expected of a situation and has potentially severe consequences. And that's true for the railroads stopping the shipment of fertilizer and not picking up grains. And the Black Swan events are characterized by their extreme rarity. This hasn't happened before. Severe impact, and it's really going to have a big impact on our food supply. And the widespread insistence, they were obvious in hindsight. So that's interesting about a Black Swan event. And this is bubble.news. If you think the supply chain collapse is bad now, just wait until summer. And he goes through and talks about all the problems. As bad as things currently are on the supply chain front, experts say they're going to get a whole lot worse. J.B. Hunt, Chief Commercial Officer Shelley Simpson, explained that come summer, the world as we currently know it may no longer be recognizable. We do forecast things to get a lot worse as we come into the summer months, particularly with what's happening in the supply chain from the ocean perspective or in China coming inbound. The lockdowns in China have shut down the city's ports and left goods carriers floating out in the ocean with nowhere to port. And there are still barges floating off the west coast of the U.S., threatening the already delicate American supply chain. And he says, is something else afoot in terms of an engineered global collapse and great reset, which already appears to be in motion and rapidly escalating with each passing day? China's measures have hurt the economy and rattled global supply chains. And the massive lockdown in China is also sending a new ripple through global supply chains for goods ranging from electric cars to iPhones in the United States. That would tell you that it's time to make sure that you're stocked up on everything you might need. Here we go, Sri Lanka default looms, and this was from Bloomberg, same as before. This one is constructiondive.com. Construction Dive. Diesel price surge fuels construction inflation alert. They say that what goes up must come down, but construction material pricing has been testing that inevitability for over 2 years with no discernible end in sight. Economist Ken Simonson issued another construction inflation alert last week, spotlighting the climb of diesel, aluminum mill shapes, copper, and plastic construction products. The period is unique in how broad-based price increases are. Previously, we've just seen a limited number of items soaring in price. This time, it's much more extensive in the number and magnitude. Long lead times, unexpected shortages, and things not showing up in the quantities or times expected. Suppliers are constantly repricing, and they'll only hold their prices for 24 hours. Barry Wurtzel, founder of commercial contractor Wurtzel Builders in Austin, Texas, said, chief among the culprits, of course, is the price of diesel. It was up 33% in 5 weeks, and that added to the 237% jump that transpired between April 2020 and February 2022. And these prices are felt from the basement of skyscrapers all the way up to the highest floors. Giant diesel-guzzing diggers claw away dirt for their foundations before enormous diesel-belching tower cranes hoist their steel beams in place. It also adds cost to every item in between. Fuel surcharges are common now. Steel mill products are up 113% in a year. Lumber, from 2020 to 2022. Lumber and plywood, 101%. Copper and brass mill shapes, 52%. Plastic construction products, 45%. And gypsum or drywall, 29%. So if you need any construction products, if you think you're going to have plywood to board up your windows for some reason, maybe now's the time to look into it while it's still available. He says, I wish my crystal ball were clear enough to predict when this would be over, but if I've learned anything from this period, it's that there's always seems to be something on the horizon that keeps us from getting back to so-called normal. And over here at Yahoo Finance, breakfast gets costlier as U.S. ratchets up food price forecasts. Diners may want to think twice about going for an American breakfast, which is poised to get pricier this year in the U.S. Department of Agriculture's latest monthly projections. Now, I haven't been out to breakfast in a while, so I can't really compare. But I can remember not too long ago when coffee went up to $2 a cup, and my mother had a fit at the time. Now, a friend of mine said they were just out for breakfast and coffee was $3 a cup. So that's a big jump. I mean, it was a big jump to $2, now a big jump to $3. And he says choosing a cereal option or going for fresh fruit won't provide relief either because both of those are up. And the end of the AmericanDream.com, chronic shortages of a few items now will evolve into chronic shortages of hundreds of products later in 2022. And he goes through and tells you about all the ones we probably know about already, pet food, baby food, one I hadn't heard of, chlorine. So we have all of these shortages that are just getting worse and worse. And of course, the food shortage, which is going to really be bad by the end of the summer. So what I'd like you to do is make your list of everything you need, everything you want, and prioritize it. Go through and say, I need to get food first. I need water, if you do. I need lumber. I need plumbing supplies. I need a generator. Whatever it is that you think you need, write it down and then prioritize it. And one way to do that, for those of you who are saying, oh, there's so many things, just go through your daily life right now. What are you using? What do you use every day? What might run out? What might break? What are the things that you're going to need? So let us know in the comments if you have any ideas of what people should be doing right now and what you're doing right now. And then please subscribe, please like the video, and thank you so much for watching.